Now, you'd better stop calling yourself a mum or a dad, because apparently even that is now offensive. There's a mob in Melbourne called Early Childhood Management Services. It sounds a bit clinical, doesn't it? But they have dozens of kindergartens and childcare centres. Well, they wrote to parents, or whatever they actually are now. Maybe they're not parents, I don't know. But they wrote to them yesterday saying that next year there will be no Mother's Day or Father's Day being celebrated. Instead, there will be a Family Day. St Helena Preschool in Eltham North sent out an email that read, "Children will be encouraged to express gratitude and recognise those who play a supportive role in their lives. We won't be holding titled celebrations like Mother's or Father's Day, but we will have a fabulous Family Day celebration." And of course their boss, Kieran Kearney, said that it was for inclusion and that this isn't just a micro issue. This is recognising that family means different things to different people in different communities. Oh, for heaven's sake. Let's bring in Sky News host Danica De Giorgio and Radio 2CC host Stephen Senatiempo. I mean, Danica, we can't have Mother's Day or Father's Day anymore. I don't know, maybe because one kid's got two mums or two dads and they feel... seriously, I can't explain it. Can you?
Oh, no, I can't explain it either, Caleb. And, where does it end? Is it, this time next year, are we allowed to say Merry Christmas? Is that next to be axed? What about Easter? Seriously, this is where it's heading. This is where it's heading, Caleb. And, I've got to say, I honestly believe not one parent at that preschool and primary school didn't even make a complaint. I'm willing to say no parent made a complaint that they were offended by Mother's Day or Father's Day. This is just a woke decision by the boss of this primary school. Instead of saying, what are our priorities for next year? How can we make the classrooms better? How can we make learning better? They've gone down this woke pathway. But I'm sick to death, Caleb, of preschools being politicised like this. We've seen it when, they're forced to apologise to the stolen generation. They're singing about the Gadigal land. Let children be children and let mothers and fathers have their special day, because I truly believe that being a mother, a father, a guardian for that matter is the best job on this earth, and I'm sick to death of them trying to cancel and erase everything.
Well, you mentioned Merry Christmas and you're in Perth at the moment, Danica. I was listening to 6PR, which of course broadcasts out of Perth this morning, and someone called up and said, look, let me say Merry Christmas before they ban me from doing so next year. So, we may well be going down that line. But Stephen, at least there is still, Mother's Day or Father's Day or Family Day, as it will now be for now, because, of course, once we follow all of this to its natural conclusion, there will be no family at all. It will be the government running your children, and then, I don't know, every day's government day then, isn't it?
Well, let me first say, Caleb and Danica, happy Festivus. There is and we should do away with the English language, because words don't matter anymore. Family doesn't mean what it means in the dictionary. Mother doesn't mean what it means. Father doesn't mean what it means. Let's just do away with English and we'll speak Esperanto or something. I can tell you one inalienable fact. Every single child at every single one of these daycare centres had a mother and a father. Simple as that. So all of this rubbish that they go on with, leave me out of it.
Don't bring facts into it.
It does my head in.
Oh, I think it does everyone's head in, doesn't it? It's just the woke virtue signalling bosses who, I've got a great idea, this one. No one asked for it. No one wants it. No. And anyone who does ask for it or want it is so thick they shouldn't even be listened to. Now, this is a bit like cancelling Christmas. The New Year's fireworks in Sydney could be off. Now, we know that the rail union is holding the government to ransom at the moment, and they're planning to go on strike on New Year's Eve. So the New South Wales Police Commissioner said today that she would cancel the fireworks if she had to, because she doesn't think that things can be done safely if the trains don't run. Here she was.
I haven't ruled out that I will recommend to government that we cancel the fireworks. Each year we police New Year's Eve on the basis that 250,000 people can come into the city and then safely leave the city. Leaving the city is based on access to transport, including trains. And if trains aren't available and people can't leave the city, I have very large concerns of the risk that will create to the public.
What an absurd situation, Danica.
Look, it is an absurd situation, Caleb. A few points on this. Firstly, the union has got this state Labor government over a barrel because a couple of weeks ago we were threatened with rail strikes. The entire weekend was going to be a knockout. And now we have a situation where New Year's Eve, they could also strike on this day as well. Now, as a commuter, as a person who does use public transport, you're left thinking to yourself, well, hang on, how am I supposed to be getting from A to B, or how am I supposed to commute when the rail union has constantly got this Labor government, they're holding it ransom. And I just want to point out, the union is seeking a 32% pay rise over 4 years and a 35-hour working week. They want to drop back their hours. Now, the Labor government said, well, we'll give you 9.5% rise over the next 3 years. The union has no chance. They are kidding themselves. I don't often agree with the New South Wales Police Commissioner, Caleb, but I've got to say, I think she should stick to her guns here, back this union into a corner and show them up for the idiots that they are, because they are causing a lot of damage. This is a $98 million threat, rather, to the economy. So back them into a corner and let's see who's happy at the end of this.
Well, let's be completely frank here, Stephen. The likelihood that the fireworks in Sydney on New Year's Eve are going to be cancelled is extremely slim. But this is exactly what the Premier, Chris Minns, needed because, of course, the state government is fighting all of this through court at the moment. They want to stop this strike action and they're going to walk into court next week and say, well, if this strike goes ahead, we'll have to cancel the New Year's Eve fireworks. This is the smoking gun that they want to be able to take into a courtroom to stop this from going ahead.
Yeah, absolutely. And I agree with Danica. I think Karen Webb's been a terrible police commissioner, but I think she's between a rock and a hard place here. And the reality is that the Premier should have come out and said this before the police commissioner did. I mean, this government has bent over to this union at every occasion. We've got a union here that has somehow negotiated to have drivers on driverless trains and now wants their members to get double time and a half to drive trains that have got nobody on them on Thursday, Friday and Saturday nights. I mean, the Premier should have stood up to this mob a long, long time ago and put his foot down. And, you know, I can't expect Chris Minns is going to be there, but we need somebody that would have behaved like Joe Bjelke-Petersen did back in the day and stood up to these militant unions that said, enough of this. You know what? We're going to ban trains altogether, and then what are your members going to do? I mean, what they need to do is negotiate with private bus operators to have enough buses on the night to make sure that this goes ahead. And you know what? Let the train drivers stay at home and get paid nothing.
Well, Sergio would have found a way to make a buck along the way when he did it too.
Well,
now,
yeah, yes.
I talked last night about that stupid Reagan woman because she sent the lawyers in to shut down this satirical musical about her. Then she demanded $10,000 from the comedy club that was going to host it. All proceeds from this show, by the way, were going to a women's shelter. Well done. Well, now she's come out and apologised and said it was all just a big misunderstanding.
You know, I am sorry for any hurt that was caused. Because you know, I'm certainly not doing that intentionally. I want to thank the people that have supported me through this wild ride again.
I saw a tweet today, Danica, or actually you don't call them tweets anymore, and you can't really call it an X either. I don't know what they're called, but someone posted on X. And they said, I can't believe everyone's surprised about what's gone on with Ray Gunn here. If you spend any time around academics, you'd know this is typical.
Oh, absolutely. I just feel like Ray Gunn, Caleb, has got this victim mindset now. Woe is me, where, you know, people are criticising me, so I better come out and do an apology. When really, what is she actually apologising for? That's what I'd like to know. For threatening to sue a woman for a comedy skit, for demanding $10,000 from the venue. I mean, her lawyers say that her act on the world stage, if that's what you can call it, was Olympic-level choreography of sorts. Well, I mean, I would say, Caleb, my dancing on a Saturday night is Olympic level choreography, but not that I'm going to go and fly myself to the Olympics to compete for Team Australia. But, you know, seriously, there is no team in what she is doing. She is an insufferable nightmare. All the best, but I'm sick of her.
Look, Danica, when you and I hit the dance floor, I tell you what, we will absolutely tear the place apart. We've got 100 points if we'd gone off to the Olympics together. But Stephen, I mean, seriously, this is the thing. As a country, I said this last night, we're quite happy to celebrate our underachievers as long as they're good people, right? You know, Stephen Bradbury, He knows that he won because everyone fell over, and he's a good bloke, so everyone loves him. What we hate is when we as a country elevate someone and then they take us for a ride. And I think that's what Reagan has done here, right?
Well, look, firstly, can I say I need to see video of Danica dancing on a Saturday night, but moving on from that. This would have to be the longest 15 minutes I have ever seen in my... I thought, isn't it supposed to be 15 minutes of fame? This has been going on for months now. And, I mean, part of the legal document apparently was she wants to copyright the kangaroo dance. What is she going to now claim royalties every time there's a rerun of Skippy? I mean, fair dinkum. You know, I mean, it just took a little bit of self-awareness to say, you know what, I'm not up to this Olympics game. Olympic-level farce is what it was, not Olympic-level choreography.
We should send Skippy to the Olympics. It would have been better. Danica, Stephen, Merry Christmas, may I say, and thank you so much for your time tonight.